Okay. Okay. So from team number one, we have Marisa, Georgina, Josue, and Aaron. Who's going to begin sharing, or who's going to begin presenting your work? From team number one, Marisa, Georgina, Josue, and Aaron. Who's going to begin?
It's supposed to be Aaron.
Aaron, okay. And remember, Azareli, team number two, Azareli, Rene, Adilene, and Efrain, you're going to be evaluating what team number one is presenting, okay?
Okay.
To share the screen.
Yes, please.
Okay. Let me see. Well, we are team number one, and we are going to talk about designing assessment tasks, perceptive reading. My classmate, Aaron, is going to start.
Okay.
Aaron is not here.
Can I read, teacher?
Can you send him a message so he can begin?
He's not in the class.
Yeah, can you call him or send him a message?
I made a call, but the number is changed.
Okay. Maybe you can contact him by sending him a WhatsApp message.
I sent him a message.
Okay. Oh, he's coming.
He says he's coming, but
Yes, he's coming.
We start now.
Yes.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna start talking about a little bit of the introduction. Well, what are gonna be the next topics? Well, the first point that is important is that the goal of reading assessments is to provide feedback on the skills in order to develop them. The process and knowledge resources that are presented reading abilities, reading assessment are used for many purposes. First one is focused primarily on bottom processing. In other words, if a teacher is trying to assess this type of reading, they simply want to know if the student can read or not. They want to know the ability or the capacity of reading. The ability to understand or comprehend the text is not the primary goal as this. They just want to identify who student can like just read and not comprehend because this it's a process, it's a step by step. And the first one it's just expecting that if the student can read. Some learners are already literate in their own native language, but in other cases, the second language may be the first language that they have ever learned to read. This literary context poses cognitive and sometimes age-related issues that need to be considered carefully.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, next, reading aloud. The test taker see the text and read it aloud in the presence of the administrator. Any recognizable oral approximation on the target response is considered correct. Okay, here I present some criteria for assessing learning. Students will be assessed on their ability to convey the meaning of a written text through reading aloud, read an unfamiliar written text aloud using appropriate emphasis, and use strategies to pronounce unfamiliar words and phrases. And here we have an example of this read aloud rubric. Here we are going to assess the uses of loud voice, articulates words clearly, reads with expression, reads with fluency, makes sure the script doesn't cover him or her face, and uses appropriate gesture and motions. This is reading aloud.
Okay. Thank you.
Next. Okay, next one is written response. Grading assessment refers to an area of study that contains theories and practices that guide the evaluation of a grading performance or potential throughout writing task. Here we can read some sound extent reading response exercise. Do three things. Number one, set a clear and specific context. Activate prior knowledge. Number two, specify the task, include the kind of reasoning that is expected. And number three, point the way to an appropriate response. And here we put an example of for a middle school example about pollution and recycling when we setting the context, and then specify the reasons, the reasoning, I'm sorry, and number 3, pointing the way. This is in order to get a written response from students.
Very interesting. Okay, thank you.
Okay, the other things we see is the picture code items that we can use it in different ways. Number 1 is picture cube word identification. The test taker show a picture, and with it, they can practice the vocabulary. For example, the teacher says the instruction and the student have to follow it. We have the picture down there, and the teacher say a phrase, and the students have to point what the teacher is saying. And we can use the same pictures, for example, to sentence identifications. And we read the sentence and they have to say what is saying. For example, the man is reading a book. They have to show or to point what is the man. And the number 3 is true-false sentence identification. We can present a true-false procedure using the picture to answer the sentence. For example, the pencil is under the table, the cat is on the table, and they have to say is true or is false.
Okay. Excellent.
Okay, we have another that are matching words identifications. This could be an effective method that we label the objects A, B, C, D, etc. in the picture, and the test taker read the words and write the appropriate letter beside the word. For example, clock, chair, books, cat, or table. And we have a multiple choice picture word identification. It could be with a word or phrase that the students read. Then they select one of the 4 pictures that has been described. This made the students to transfer from a verbal to a non-verbal mood. For example, if we have rectangle, the test taker sees and choose the correct item, A, B, C, or D.
Great.
I am going to talk about a multiple choice. A multiple choice test or questions is one in which you are given a list of answers and you have to choose the correct one. And here I use an example with this image. Is the question stem. It has 5 options. 4 of them are distractors, and only 1 of them is the correct. Some of the possibilities for this kind of test are the same, to answer same or different, circle the answers, true or false, choose the letter, matching, and also like the one that my classmate Georgina talked about, picture cue. The advantages from this type of test, they have fast processing times. There's no room for subjectivity. You can ask more questions. It takes less time to complete the multiple choice question compared to an open question. Responses don't have to formulate an answer, but can focus on the content. In the advantages, we can see that it is easier for the learner to answer this kind of questions that if we say you have to write in 100 words your answer, for example. Disadvantages. While they are fast processed, they are time consuming. To create, they require time to draw up effective STEM questions and corresponding choices. They don't produce any qualitative data, solely quantitative. They limit the respondent in his answers. That is why it's important to provide another option with a text box. For me, another disadvantage is that it is more confusing sometimes for the students to to put some questions with very similar, that can be both of them the correct answer, because we don't know if the student is thinking that you are going to assess their knowledge or the reading comprehension. But that's in my opinion.
Exactly. Very good. Very good.
This is the mind map that we elaborate about the receptive reading. In here, we use the reading aloud, assesses a student's ability to convey the meaning of a writing text through reading aloud, read an unfamiliar reading text aloud using appropriate emphasis, and uses strategies to pronounce unfamiliar words or phrases. In written response, guides the evaluation of a writer's performance or potential through a writing test, set a clear and specific content, specify the task, point the way to an appropriate response. And the multiple choice, as I just mentioned before, I use the same examples, the same possibilities. And in picture cue, as my friend Georgina mentioned before, and also you, teacher Christian, in your exposition, we talk about this and you use some of the examples from the PDF.
Okay.
Word identification, sentence identification, the true or false, sentence identification, matching word identification, picture cue, word identification. In the bottom right part, we write the bibliography that we use to create this mind map.
Excellent.
We are not only based on the PDF, we also research a little bit in internet. Well, we were team number 1. Thanks for listening to our awesome presentation. Any questions?
No.
No?
Great.
Very good. Great. Great, guys. Well, an applause for you. Very good. Very good. Excellent. Okay, now we're going to go through team number 2, which is Azareli, René, Adilene, and Efraín. Azareli is here. René, also here. Adilene, I don't see her.
No.
And Efraín, I don't see him either.
You got problems with the internet.
Okay, can you contact them, please, so we can go through the next?
Yeah, I'm calling him. I'm calling him.
Okay, thank you. And also Adilene.
Miriam and Ignacio too.
Yes. Is somebody else trying to contact Adilene?
Lo estoy marcando.
Yes, I'm sending messages
Okay, thank
to
you.
Adilene.
Thank you. Who held the presentation? Azareli or Renee?
Should I start?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Rene, you are going to share the screen?
Yes, I can if you want to. Here it is, as a PDF file. I don't know if it is correct. Can you see?
Yes.
Okay, so I'm going to start. We're team number 2, and the team is formed by Azareli, Jose Luis, Adilene, Efrain, and me, Rene. Okay, and let's start. Our topic is designing assessment task for selective reading. Okay, they focus on formal aspect of language. They could be lexical, grammatical, and a few discourse features in order to have coherence on sentences or on text. Okay, it also includes what many incorrectly think of as testing: vocabulary and grammar. Vocabulary and grammar. The most of the activities uh, have those objectives. Yeah. Tasks you can use to assess lexical and grammatical aspect of reading ability. They could be multiple choice, matching tasks, editing tasks, picture cue task, and gap filling task. Right now, I'm going to start explaining to you some of them. The first one, for example, multiple choice. It focuses on vocabulary and grammar. Okay, the items may have little context, but might serve as a vocabulary or grammar check. Like the example here we have different options. We need to choose the correct one according what is required on the activity. In matching tasks, basically what students need to do is to match columns. They could be columns with pictures, with information, with sentences, and more. Okay, the main characteristics of matching tasks are the test taker task is simply to respond correctly, which makes matching an appropriate format. The most frequent appearance criterion in matching procedures is vocabulary. Okay, vocabulary matching task, as I told you, it could be like focusing on pictures instead of the word, or also sentences. And this tag has advantages but also disadvantages. One of the advantages is that it offers an alternative to traditional multiple choice or fill in the blank formats and are easier to construct than multiple choice items. And a disadvantage could be it become more of a puzzle solving process than a genuine test of comprehension as test takers struggle with the search for a match. Number 3 is editing tasks. Editing tasks for grammatical or rhetorical errors is a widely used test method for assessing linguistic competence in reading. Can you
Sorry, Rene.
I thought you had trouble with the internet again.
With the internet.
Let me.
Well, Sareli, can you continue, please?
Yes, of course. So, like Rene was saying, editing task, editing for grammatical or rhetorical. Oops, she stopped sharing the screen. I'm going to share. Wait.
This
Can you-
wasn't our day.
Teacher, can you please let me share my screen?
Yes, it's okay. Ready?
Can you see the screen?
Yes, we do. Yes, I do.
Okay. Oops. What happened with? Okay. It says editing task. Editing for grammatical rhetorical errors is a widely used test method for assessing linguistic competence in reading. Not only focuses on grammar, but also introduces a simulation of the authentic task of editing of discerning errors in written passages. Its authenticity may be supported if you consider proofreading as a real-world skill that is being tested. We have two examples right here. In the first picture, you can see that it's a text, and you need to check the errors that are in the text, and you need to correct them in the picture below. Also, in the next one right here, we need to check the marks, also the commas, punctuation, and if it's a grammar mistakes. Oops, how can I change the slide? I can't. Oh, it's
There.
okay. Yeah, thank you. Picture quick task. Test takers read a sentence of a passage and choose one of 4 pictures that is being described. The sentence or sentences at this level are more complex. Diagram labeling task. For example, we have this picture like a poster. We can use them like, for example, to ask our students where are some things, or also to let them how to describe uh, actions, maybe using verbs or some other activities if we are seeing vocabulary.
Great.
Gap filling task. An extension of simple gap filling task is to create sentence completion item where a test takers read part of a sentence and then complete it by writing a phrase. The obvious disadvantage of this type of task, it is questionable assessment of reading ability. The task requires both reading and writing performance, thereby rendering it of low validity in isolating reading as the sole criterion. Sentence completion task. Okay, for example, we have two, like you mentioned before, teacher, that we need to fill in the blanks. Maybe in this picture, we are using verbs, and in this other picture, we are introducing can or can't, and is an filling gap task. And this is our mind map. I was supposed to, if I was going to do it, or I would do it. Designing assessment tasks, selective reading. We have the tasks that we can use in the assessment lexical and grammatical aspect of reading ability. We have the multiple choice, the matching task, the gap filling task, picture clue task, editing task. For example, the examples that we can use, we have multiple choice. Oh, what happened?
You clicked on it.
Oh, sorry. Okay.
Don't worry.
Yeah, we have multiple choice, we have matching task, editing task, picture clue task, and gap filling task. I mentioned it before, the meaning of each task. If you want me to repeat it, I will do it.
No, it's okay.
Okay, well, that will be all for our part.
Thank you. Thank you, Sareli.
Okay,
Thank you.
let me stop sharing the.
Great, nice presentation. Very good. Excellent work.
Thank you.
Now, the last team. Oh, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ. Okay, we have Gabi, Miriam, and Liliana. Who's going to present your work?
Me, teacher.
Okay. Okay.
Can you see the presentation?
Yes, I do.
Okay, sorry. So this is our work. We are the team number 3, and that is composed by Lluvia, me, Liliana, Miriam, and Jose Ignacio. So this time we are going to talk about assessing reading. Uh, Assessing reading, design and assessment tasks, interactive reading. Closed tasks. Closed tests were developed for native language readers. And defended. What happened? And defended as an appropriate gauge of reading ability. Closed tests are usually a minimum of 2 paragraphs in length in order to account for discourse expectancies. They can be constructed relatively easily as long as the specification for choosing deletions and for scoring are clearly defined. Two approaches to the scoring of ghost tests are commonly used. The first one is the exact word method, gives credit to test takers only if they insert the exact word that was originally deleted. The appropriate word scoring is the other one, credits the test takers for supplying beautiful, amazing, and spectacular. And typically, every 7 word plus or minus 2 is the letter, and that is known as fixed radio dilation. But many closed test designers instead use a rational dilation procedure of choosing dilation according to the grammatical or discourse functions. In the first picture, we can see an example of fixed radio dilation, and as you can see, each 7 words there is a missing word. It's like patron. I don't know how to say it.
Yes, pattern.
In the second one, you can see an example of rational dilation that is focused on find a specific item. For example, in this picture, in this example, maybe the main point is to find connectors or prepositions. Some variation on standard close testings have over the years two of the better known are the C-test and the closed elite procedure. In the C-test, the second half or every other word is obliterated and the test taker must restore each word. The closed elite procedure inserts word into a text that don't belong. The test taker's task is to detect and cross out the intrusive words. For closed text are disadvantages too. One of them could be fast and efficient readers are not adept at detecting the intrusive words, and good readers naturally without such potential interruptions.
Okay. Guys, can I ask you a favor? Can we skip this and go through the mind map,
Okay.
please?
Teacher,
Yes.
Renee is very worried about her internet is failing.
Yes,
She
yes,
reset the modem, but it's not working.
yeah. That's a problem with with the internet connection. It's a very common problem. Well, tell her don't worry. It's things that happen. Okay. Thank you. Now, can you try to explain this mind map to us, please?
Yes. this is our mind map. And we try to summarize all the key aspects of this topic. So designing assessment tasks, interactive reading, uh, implies a little more focus on top-down processing than on bottom-up. Tasks at this level have a combination of form focus and meaning focus objectives, but with more emphasis on meaning. Texts are a little longer, from a paragraph to as much as a page or so in the case of ordinary prose. Charts, graphs, and other graphics are somewhat complex in their format. So these are the main aspects of our topic: closed tasks, impromptu reading plus comprehension questions, editing longer text, scanning, ordering tasks, sentence ordering tasks, information transfer reading, charts, maps, graphs, and diagrams. The closed tasks, as I mentioned before, are tests that are focused on find some missing words, missed words. Impromptu reading plus comprehension question is the traditional read and passage and answer some questions technique, which is the oldest and the most common. Includes short answer tasks and open-ended reading question, comprehension question, and there is an example of that. Editing, editing longer text, so have some advantages. Authenticity is increased. The text stimulate proofreading once essay, where it is imperative to find and correct errors. If the test is number three, if the test is connected to a specific curriculum, the test designer can draw up a specification for a number of grammatical and rhetorical categories that match the content of the courses. And scanning, as we know, it is a strategy used by all the readers to find relevant information in a test. Ordering tasks, sometimes called the strip story techniques. Sentence ordering tasks could be um, read a text and then try to identify the order that the events occur. Information transfer, reading charts, maps, graphs, and diagrams. It requires not only an understanding of the graphic and verbal convention of the medium, but also a linguistic ability to interpret the information to someone else.
Thank you.
Um, and
Okay,
that's all
that's
of our
it.
part.
Thank you. Sorry, Gabby, please excuse me for the interruption, but we have run short of time. Thank
Yes.
you all. Thank you for your assistance. Thank you for your presentations. Very good, very complete. Congratulations to all of you. Please send me. No, no, no. Leave it like that. Leave it like that. Okay, guys. So this is the end of this session. Thank you for being
Okay.
here. We have less than a minute,
Thank
so
you.
thank you guys once again. Excellent participation.